University Challenge. Asking the questions and more granted.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge, where we're about to meet two more of this year's teams for the first time. If they can win tonight, they'll qualify automatically for the second round. Failing that, a losing score of 170 points or more will at least guarantee them a second bite at the cherry via the repechage at the end of this round. What's now the University of Leeds was first the Yorkshire College of Science, founded in 1874 in response to concerns among local industrialists that the region wasn't keeping pace with technological developments on the continent. The college soon became well known as a centre for the study of engineering and textile technology, and in 1904 was granted full university status. The actor Ebba Mackey, the journalist Naga Munchetty and the author Wole Soyinka have all studied there, and its best result to date in this competition was in 2003 when it reached the semi-finals. Let's meet this year's team from Leeds.
Hi, I'm Finn Thompson, I'm from North London and I'm in my first year of reading law at the University of Leeds.
Hi, my name's Ingrid Banerjee Marvin. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent and I'm doing a PhD researching the experiences of marginalised football fans.
And their captain.
Hi there, I'm Alex Tan, I'm from Colchester and I'm studying for a Bachelor's in Computer Science.
Hi, my name's Jayan Patel, I'm from Leicester and I'm studying for a Master's in Mechatronics and Robotics.
The University of Edinburgh has qualified for this competition more times than any other single institution, though it's won it only once in 2019. It's the youngest of the four ancient universities of Scotland, founded in 1582 by James VI and apparently one of the UK's most popular, second only to Manchester in terms of volume of undergraduate applications. Alumni include the astrophysicist Jocelyn Bell Burnell, the rower Catherine Granger and the author Robert Louis Stevenson, who reportedly founded its student newspaper, the oldest in the UK. Let's meet the team representing Edinburgh tonight.
Hi, I'm David Ayton, I'm from Glasgow and I'm studying maths.
Hi, I'm Jess Meller, I'm from Market Wheaton in East Yorkshire and I'm studying history.
And their captain?
Hi, I'm Greg Miles, I'm originally from Monifieth near Dundee and I'm studying for a PhD in biomedical engineering.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Self, I'm from Ashton-under-Lyne in Greater Manchester and I study politics.
Very nice to see you all. I don't need to explain the rules, do I? No. You know how it works. OK, fingers on buzzers. Here is your first starter for 10. Good luck. What weather phenomenon appears in all the following titles? Tan Twan Eng's 2012 novel set in the aftermath of the Japanese occupation of Malaya, Volume 4 of Neil Gaiman's Sandman series, and Diane Fossey's memoir of the years she spent living with gorillas in the Virunga Mountains.
Edinburgh Miles.
Mists.
Mist is correct, yes. Your three bonuses are on films with soundtracks composed by Johnny Greenwood. In each case, name the film from the description. First, Kristen Stewart received a Best Actress Oscar nomination for her role in this 2022 film. It is a biopic of Princess Diana directed by Pablo Larraín.
Spencer.
Yes. Secondly, directed by Lynn Ramsey and based on a novella by Jonathan Ames, a 2017 film in which Joaquin Phoenix plays a traumatised mercenary hired to rescue young girls who have been trafficked.
It might be You Were Never Really Here.
You Were Never Really Here? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go.
You Were Never Really Here.
Correct. And finally, a 2007 film by Paul Thomas Anderson in which Daniel Day-Lewis won his second Oscar for his role as the oil prospector Daniel Plainview. It is based on a novel by Upton Sinclair.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. Let's start the question. Compiled by the pioneering ethnographer Bernardino de Sahagún, the Florentine Codex is an encyclopedic manuscript on the culture of which people? Officially titled General History of the Matters of New Spain. It is written in both Spanish and Nahuatl.
Edinburgh Miles.
The Aztecs?
Yes, it is the Aztecs. Well done. Your bonuses, Edinburgh, are three questions on the 1924 UK general election. The 1924 UK general election was held after which Prime Minister, heading a minority government, suffered an adverse vote in the House of Commons?
Would it be Asquith? Baldwin.
Yeah, Baldwin?
Baldwin.
Stanley Baldwin?
No, it was MacDonald, Ramsay MacDonald. Head of the Communist International, which Soviet politician was the alleged author of a seditious letter, widely held to have contributed to Labour's defeat in the 1924 election? It was later shown to have been a forgery attributed to MI5 or MI6.
Soviet politicians around that time?
Can't think who that might be.
It's not like Lenin or Trotsky or anything like that, is it?
It's an odd year.
No.
I think we just passed this
Yeah,
one.
pass
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, pass.
That's the Zinoviev letter. Which former Prime Minister lost his seat to Labour at Paisley in the 1924 election? Lloyd George later replaced him as the Liberal Party leader.
This is Asquith.
H.H. Asquith.
It is H.H. Asquith, yes. Let's start the question now. Von Neumann's middle square method of 1946, the linear congruential generator of 1949, and Mersenne twister of 1998 are algorithms designed to produce what?
Edinburgh Ayton.
Prime numbers.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Physical methods involve measurement of thermal noise, the photoelectric effect, and other stochastic processes.
Leeds Patel.
Probability.
No, random numbers. Another start of the question now. Differing only by a single vowel in each case, which 3 short words can be defined in reverse alphabetical order as follows? The common transcription of the name of the Egyptian goddess of the sky, the Boolean operator that takes truth to falsity and vice versa, and a common name for the egg of a louse.
Edinburgh Miles.
Nut, not, knit.
Well done, well worked out. Yes, that's right. Your bonuses, Edinburgh, 3 questions on magnetism. What term is used to quantify the magnetic field passing through a surface, commonly represented by the Greek letter phi? Its SI unit is the Weber.
Weber. Flux, magnetic flux, yeah. Is it flux?
Yes, magnetic flux. Which 2 French physicists give their names to an equation that describes the magnetic field produced by a steady current distribution, taking into account the differential contributions of each infinitesimal current element along the path?
Maybe Ampere, someone that I don't really
someone,
know. Becquerel. I don't think anything.
Ampere Becquerel?
No, it's Biot and Savart. Which scientist gives his name to the principle of electromagnetism that describes how a change in magnetic flux through a closed circuit induces an electromotive force or voltage in that circuit?
Is this Maxwell?
Is it?
I'm not sure.
I would have guessed Faraday.
Faraday.
I don't actually know.
We'll say Faraday.
It is Faraday, yeah, and his law of electromagnetic induction. Picture round now, and for your picture starter, you will see a diagram of a gearing system. I need the 3-word name by which this type of gearing is usually known.
Leeds Patel.
Rack and pinion.
Correct, yes. Following rack and pinion, your bonuses are 3 more diagrams of gearing systems. 5 points for each you can identify. First, this system, known by the name of an invertebrate.
Invertebrates.
Caterpillar, perhaps. This is your jurisdiction, guys.
What is an invertebrate?
Like without the spine, like insects. like
Animal without vertebrae.
Worm, is that an invertebrate?
Any guess?
worm.
Correct. Secondly, this system.
Planetary.
Nominate Patel.
Planetary.
Yes. Finally, this system, a single word is enough here.
Like vortex or orbit or something.
Is it like meter, like metersaur?
No, it's.
Gonna get
I
it.
don't know. It's sphere. I don't know.
Sphere?
No, it's a bevel. Let's start the question now. Which art movement is the subject of a 1965 work by Hans Richter subtitled Art and Anti-Art? Richter...
Edinburgh Ayton.
Dada.
Yeah, it is. Dadaism. Well done. Your bonuses, Edinburgh, are on members of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in the comic book series of the same name by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill. All are reimaginings of characters from well-known 19th century novels. In Volume 1, who assembles and leads the League at the behest of Campion Bond? This character was introduced in a Gothic novel of 1897 and appears in Moore's comics under her maiden name, having divorced her husband, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan Harker, it'll be Mina.
Oh, yeah,
Mina
Mina.
something. I don't know her last name, but maybe Mina's enough.
Sure. Just,
Yeah.
Mina?
I need to hear more than that.
I'll just say that.
Mina Harker.
Yes, we can accept Mina Harker. Yeah, that was her married name, or before that was Mina Murray. Next, the character of Dr. Hawley Griffin is based on the protagonist of which 1897 novel by H.G. Wells? In Wells's novel, this character conducts experiments on his own body, which prove to be irreversible and drive him to madness and a life of crime.
The Invisible Man.
Correct. League member Prince Dakar is also known by what alias? This character is the only one of Mina's recruits who originates in a non-English language work.
Is Nemo?
Non-English language.
Maybe not.
No, it's written by Jules Verne.
Yeah, but I think he wrote it in English, didn't he?
Just go with that.
Anything else? Is it Nemo?
Yes, I'll accept that. It's Captain Nemo. Yeah. Let's start a question now. Born in about 1493 and noted for satirical verse attacking Martin Luther, Anna Bynes is credited with helping establish the vernacular literary tradition of what Germanic language? She was born in the same city as the footballer Romelu Lukaku and the artist Frans Hals.
Leeds Thompson.
Dutch.
It is Dutch, yes. Your bonuses, Leeds, are on pairs of people whose surnames differ only in that their initial letters are consecutive letters of the alphabet. For instance, Brown and Crown. In each case, give both surnames from the description. First, a US aviator, one of the pair who in 1932, along with Thomas Cox Allen, became the first black man to fly across the United States, and the former Foreign Secretary who served 119 days as UK Prime Minister in 1827.
1800 is that
Is that Percival?
is that 1827? So it could be Percival and
What would be before P?
What other names are there? Because
uh,
they're only different from the first letter.
1827.
What's
Was it?
Percival's first name? It's not going to be a
Don't
first
know.
name.
Is it first name?
No, it's
second
just the
name.
last name. Pers, I don't know.
Are we
Who
getting?
came before Percival?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Come on.
Liverpool?
Just going to pass.
It's George Canning that we want, as in James Banning and George Canning. A Welsh post-impressionist known for female portraits such as Girl with a Cat and the scientist who received the 1998 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for developing the density functional theory.
1998 density functional theory. 1998. What chemists do we know from around then?
Brooks and Crooks, maybe.
What's that?
Brooks and Crooks.
Brooks and Crooks.
No, it's Gwen John and Walter Cohen, an Israeli-British illusionist known for his spoon-bending performances and a US author whose best-known novel includes the characters Colonel Cathcart and Milo Minderbinder.
Okay, that's Uri Geller and Joseph Heller.
Nominate Thompson.
Uri Geller and Joseph Heller.
It is, yes, well worked out. Let's start the question now. I need the two-word name of a specific scientific theory here. Using gamma-ray emissions from iron-57, vibrated by a loudspeaker cone 22 metres above a detector, the Pound-Rebka experiment was an experimental test of which specific theory's prediction that the gravitational field will affect the frequency of photons?
Leeds Thompson.
Gravitational waves.
No, you can have a bit more time, Edinburgh, but you may not confer.
Edinburgh Ayton.
General relativity.
It is general relativity, yes, well done. Your bonuses then, Edinburgh, are 3 questions on the artist Douglas Gordon. A major 1993 work by Gordon consists of a projection of which film of 1960, slowed to a rate of approximately 2 frames per second so that it lasts for precisely 24 hours?
Could it be Psycho? 1960?
Was that 1960?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Psycho?
Yes. In a 1997 installation by Gordon, William Friedkin's The Exorcist and Henry King's The Song of Bernadette are projected simultaneously on opposite sides of a translucent screen. Its title is Between Darkness and Light, followed by the name of which poet and painter born in 1757?
Robert Burns. What about Blake?
I was thinking Blake. Yeah,
go Blake.
Blake, yeah, around that time, yeah. William Blake?
Yes. Which football player is the subject of a feature-length documentary of 2006 by Gordon and Philippe Pareno? Using 17 cameras, the film follows this midfielder throughout an entire Real Madrid versus Villarreal match.
Is that how you pronounce it? Zinedine Zidane. Yeah, Zinedine Zidane.
Nominate self.
Zinedine Zidane.
Yes, Zizou himself. Music round now, and for your music starter, you will hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, name the artist.
When the stars align.
Edinburgh Mellor.
Lorraine.
Yeah, you got that pretty quick, didn't you? For your music starter, you heard Tattoo by Loreen, which won the 2023 Eurovision Song Contest. That win led to Sweden hosting the 2024 contest on the 50th anniversary of ABBA's win with Waterloo. For your music bonuses, you'll hear 3 Eurovision entries that won on a milestone anniversary of a previous win. Here, I want you to name both the artist and the country they represented. First, for 5 points.
What's another year to someone who's lost?
Johnny Logan and Ireland. Sounds like it. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Johnny Logan and Ireland.
Sure. Johnny Logan, Ireland?
Correct. What's Another Year won in 1980, 10 years after Ireland's first win. Secondly,
well, I don't know, sorry.
Come on.
Sorry, we don't know pass.
It's Dana International and Israel. Diva won in 1998, 20 years after Itzhak Cohen and the Alphabeta with Abi Nabi. And finally,
And we're all gonna shine a light together.
Oh, it's Katrina and the Waves and the UK.
Nominate Mallow.
Katrina and the Waves in the UK.
correct, yes, with Love Shine a Light. Let's start the question now. I need a short word in the singular or plural here. According to the US Chief Justice Earl Warren, what in civilised life floats in a sea of ethics? In Gilbert and Sullivan's Iolanthe, it is the true embodiment of everything that's excellent. Jonathan Swift compared it to cobwebs, which may catch small flies but let wasps and hornets break through. But
Leeds Thompson.
no, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. While in Oliver Twist, Mr. Bumble retorts that it is a ass, a idiot.
Edinburgh Ayton.
Love.
Said in your best Barry White voice, but that didn't help. No, it's the law. No, let's start the question now. Which future monarch narrowly escaped the sinking of HMS Gloucester on the 6th of May 1682 off the Norfolk coast? He was the last Roman Catholic king of England, Scotland and...
Leeds Tan.
James II.
Yes, James VII is second. Yeah, well done, correct. Your bonuses then, Leeds, are on esters, the class of compounds produced when acids and alcohols combine and release water. In each case, identify the substance or compound from the description. First, extremely sensitive to shock and rapid heating, a key ingredient of dynamite that is used in medicine to ease cardiac pain.
Dynamite ingredient eases cardiac pain.
What's dynamite? TNT?
Yeah, it's just made like
beta
phos.
blocker? What's in a beta blocker?
Phosphorus, salt and
Something
stuff.
with nitrous.
Nitric.
Just say ethane.
Nitrous oxide.
I don't
Come
know.
on.
Ethane dioxide.
Nitrous oxide.
No, it's nitroglycerin. Secondly, a wax secreted by Copernicia prunifera, a species of palm tree native to Brazil. It consists primarily of esters of long-chain alcohols and acids and is used in high-gloss polishes.
Is that glycerol? Maybe?
Yeah, nominate Patel.
Glycerol?
No, that's carnauba wax. And finally, a mild non-narcotic pain reliever effective in reducing fever and inflammation. It reduces the risk of heart attack or stroke in high-risk individuals if a low dose is taken daily.
Is it a beta blocker or an aspirin?
Aspirin.
Aspirin, yeah. Aspirin.
Correct. Let's start the question now. What adjective appears in the names of all of the following? In mathematics, an attracting set with a fractal structure. In psychology, an experiment devised by Mary Ainsworth, significant in the development of attachment theory. And in physics, the third lightest of the 6 fundamental quarks.
Leeds Thompson.
Strange.
Strange is right, well done. Your bonuses, Leeds, are on Australia. In each case, name the state or territory in which the following are located. First, the Torres Strait Islands, the Cape York Peninsula and the Gold Coast region.
That is Queensland.
Yes, second, the Barossa Valley, the Eyre Peninsula and the opal producing centre of Cuba Pedy.
It's not Perth, is it?
Eyre Peninsula, so it's going to be in...
Western Territory, Western Australia.
Are you sure? Yeah.
No, I'm just...
No, I think it's in New South Wales because we're like Eyre, right?
Okay,
So like,
flip that.
or is it New South Wales?
That is South Australia. Finally, the Great Sandy Desert, the Swan Coastal Area and the Pilbara region, a major centre of iron ore mining.
That's Perth.
It is Western Australia, yeah. Western Australia.
Yes, let's start the question. Referring broadly to a type of fermented condiment used widely in East and Southeast Asia, what two-word term in English translates the words patis in Tagalog, ekjut in Korean, niukmum in Vietnamese, and nam pla in Thai?
Leeds Tan.
Hoisin?
No. Anyone want to have a go from Edinburgh?
Edinburgh Miller.
Kimchi.
No, it's fish sauce. Let's start the question. The setting of L.M. Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables. What is the smallest of Canada's 10 provinces? It was given...
Leeds Tan.
Prince Edward Island?
Yes, your bonuses, Leeds, are on a play. Millennium Approaches and Perestroika are the names of the two parts of which play...
Nominate Banerjee Marvin.
Angels in America?
Yes, in the epilogue of Angels in America, the characters Prior, Hannah and 2 others gather around which fountain in New York Central Park? It shares its name with the site of a healing miracle performed in the Bible and a town in northwest Wales.
I don't know what
North Wales, like Holyhead.
Yeah, Holyhead.
Is that, yeah, Holyhead Fountain.
Holyhead?
No, it's the Bethesda fountain. In the play, the ghost of which person tells Roy Cohn Julius sends his regards? In real life, Cohn was a prosecutor in the 1951 trial of this person.
Oh, the Luxembourgs. Rosa Luxemburg.
Rosa Luxemburg?
No, it's Ethel Rosenberg. Let's start the question now. It's a picture round. For your picture starter, you're going to see a still from a film. For 10 points, I want you to give me the film's title.
Edinburgh Self.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
It is To Kill a Mockingbird, yes. The 1962 adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird, which you saw for your picture starter, was named the best courtroom drama of all time by the American Film Institute. For your picture bonuses, you need to identify 3 more recent examples of courtroom films. 5 points for each you can name. First, this 2022 film.
Oh, what's this called? Oh, my God, being advertised. I don't know the name of it. Should we just pass it? Pass it, I won't get it.
Sorry, pass.
That was Santo Mare by Alice Diop. Secondly, from 2023.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes, finally, this 2020 film about a historical event.
The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Sure. The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Correct. Another starter question. Bring No Clothes is the title of a 2023 exhibition and an accompanying book that examine, amongst other things, how contemporary designers are still inspired by the sartorial choices made by which group of early 20th century English...
Edinburgh Miles.
The Dandies.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Of early 20th century English writers, artists and intellectuals.
Leeds Banerjee Marvin.
The Bloomsbury Group.
It is the Bloomsbury Group, yes. Your bonuses are 3 questions on a fashion designer. The premiere of which British fashion designer's 1999 Spring-Summer collection, number 13, featured model Shalom Harlow being spray-painted by 2 robot arms while standing on a rotating platform?
I think this is McQueen.
McQueen?
Yes. For his 2001 Spring-Summer collection, Voss, McQueen constructed a dress using the shells of which long bivalve? Its scientific name is Ensis magnus.
Do we know what a non-Bible is?
Crabs, perhaps.
Or lobsters. I think
maybe.
do lobsters have shells?
Yeah, lobsters.
Yeah. Lobsters.
Lobsters?
No, it's razor clam. Described as a biological hybridization of women with sea mammals, McQueen's final collection to premiere before his death was named after which mythological location?
Like Atlantis, maybe?
Yeah.
Atlantis?
Yes, just over 4 minutes to go. Let's start the question now. The name of which perching bird links Major League US sports teams found in St. Louis and Arizona?
Leeds Patel.
Cardinals.
Correct. Your bonuses are on Latin American dance forms. Name each from the description. First, a dance from Cuba that developed from the contra danza in the 19th century and later gave rise to the cha-cha-cha. It features notably in the 1957
Rumba.
musical... No, it's mambo. Second, a fast, closed-position couples dance in 2 or 4 time. It is the national dance of the Dominican Republic.
It's not tango.
Tango.
2-4, maybe Charleston, maybe.
Just no. Just
Charleston?
No, that's merengue. Finally, an Argentine dance in slow 2/4 or 4/4 time that developed during the late 19th century. In its traditional form, it is semi-improvised.
Tango.
Yes. Now, start the question now. Name any one of the 3 football clubs from outside Liverpool, Manchester and London that, since 2003, have won the English Football League Cup.
Edinburgh Miller.
Newcastle.
No, you can have a bit more time, but you may not confer.
Leeds Thompson.
Swansea.
Yes, Swansea City is one. Middlesbrough or Birmingham City were the others. Your bonuses are on British birds whose scientific names are reduplicative, meaning the same word is used for both genus and species. A single word answer is sufficient in each case. Apus apus is the binomial of which bird that lives almost its entire life on the wing? Apus meaning without feet.
no. Heron.
Heron.
No, it's a swift. Pyrrhocorax, meaning flame-coloured raven, is the scientific name for the red-billed species of which corvid associated particularly with Cornwall.
Crows, magpies, maybe?
Yeah.
Magpies?
There's a chuff. Pika pika is the binomial for the Eurasian or common species of which bird?
Vulture.
Vulture?
No, it's a magpie. Now, let's start the question. I need the name of a film here. This is a quote. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going, no feeling is final. These words from Rainer Maria Rilke's poem, Go to the Limits of Your Longing, appear as the epigraph to which 2019 World War II film directed by Taika Waititi?
Edinburgh Miller.
Jojo Rabbit.
It is Jojo Rabbit, yes. 3 questions for you, Edinburgh, on cultural references to the word rose. Which ballet features the Rose Adagio, a notoriously demanding set piece in which the ballerina in the title role performs 4 unsupported balances whilst on point?
Title role, so I don't know, it's like Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Yes. Who wrote the 1941 play Rose Tattoo? It's the story of Serafina, a Sicilian-American seamstress who learns of her husband's infidelity after he is killed by the police.
Any ideas on this one? What is Italian? I don't think we know.
Come on.
Pass. Sorry, pass.
Tennessee Williams. The Soul of the Rose is a 1908 work by which English artist? It depicts a young woman in a garden taking in the scent of a pink climbing rose.
English artist.
It's the ball, Turner.
You can guess that.
Yeah. Waterhouse?
Yes, John William Waterhouse. Another starter. What term is applied to organ cavities in humans, such as the 4 connected cavities containing cerebrospinal fluid and...
Edinburgh Miles.
Sinus.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. And located within the brain parenchyma, as well as the 2 lower chambers of the heart.
Leeds Banerjee Marvin.
Valve.
No, it's the ventricle. Another starter question. What cemetery is the location of the Mur de Fédérés, or Communards Wall? In 1871, it was the site of the execution of approximately 150 communards following the suppression of the Paris Commune.
Edinburgh Miles.
Père Lachaise?
It is Père Lachaise, yes. Your bonuses are 3 questions on canals. Which early canal, located in Greater Manchester, takes its name from the noble title of the colliery owner, Francis Egerton, born in 1736?
Anything on this one, no. Sorry, pass.
The Bridgewater Canal, named after 2 rivers. Which canal runs from Bath to Newbury, thereby linking Bristol with London?
The Avon, I think. No, sorry, no.
No.
So it could be like...
What, sorry?
It's named 2 rivers.
The Avon-Thames Canal.
No, it's Kennet and Avon. Named in part after an English county, which canal runs northwest from Wolverhampton, meeting the Manchester Ship Canal at the town of Ellesmere Port?
I think it's the Birmingham-Worcester Canal.
Birmingham-Worcester Canal.
Yeah.
The Birmingham-Worcester Canal?
No, it's the Shropshire Union Canal. Another starter question. The US scientists George Beadle and Edward Tatum shared half of the 1958 Nobel Prize in Medicine for their discovery that what units of hereditary information act by regulating definite chemical events?
Edinburgh Miles.
Genes?
It is genes, yes. Your bonus is Edinburgh. 3 questions on the Australian Aboriginal actor David Gulpilil. Gulpilil made his feature film debut aged 16 in which 1971 film by Nicholas Roeg? Jenny Agutter and Roeg's son Luke played children who are abandoned in the Australian outback. Gulpilil's character helps them survive.
No idea.
And at the gong, Leeds have 125 and Edinburgh have 175. And the answer to that last one, by the way, was walkabout. You guys pulled off the most extraordinary comeback. I did wonder about 5 minutes in whether you all sort of gone to sleep. You were on 40 points for ages, and then you really woke up with an absolutely magnificent comeback. And I've got to tell you that 125 is the score that 3 teams now have. It's not over. It's not over, but it might be. We've really enjoyed having you, and you made it a thrilling contest, so thank you so much. We may well see you again. Edinburgh, you know how to make things a bit dicey, don't you? That was stressful. While they were coming back, you guys completely slept for about 10 minutes in the middle there, but we should definitely see you again, and I hope we'll see you again. I hope you can join us next time for another first-round match, but until then, it's goodbye from Leeds.
Bye. Bye.
It's goodbye from Edinburgh.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.